video, I'm talking about soul restructuring. Previously, I explained how soul restructuring is the first step or tool to help us experience awareness, which is the seed or the initiator of the process of elevation of consciousness, a process in which we can change or expand our perception of reality to actually experience reality of the true self, not only our subjective reality, but the collective reality, the universal consciousness. So soul restructuring is a process in which we release, we let go of elements that are no longer needed. They could be obsolete or they could be blocking our experience of self-awareness. How do we do this? To efficiently restructure the soul, it is important that we understand what these functions of the layers of the soul are, why the soul is structured in layers, what are they, each one of those layers doing. So first of all, let's say that the soul could have many infinite amount of layers, but the ones that we usually work with are only the ones that are closer to the physical body. It doesn't mean that the soul is limited to only those. It could be, the soul could have infinite number of layers all the way back to the source. And remember that there is no real separation. That's just an apparent subjective idea that we have because that's what we perceive. But yes, the most common or known layers are usually the last ones that are closer to the body. In that classification also, I prefer to work with them according to their function, not so much the metaphysical properties of them. So let's say that I prefer to divide them in the electromagnetic field, which is the one that works with interaction with other external frequencies or energies and also help us communicate through energy. Then we have something that is called the forming body. The forming body is a layer of the soul that is in charge of discerning what stays and what goes, and what stays goes to those other subsequent layers. So the next one that we have is the emotional layer, where our emotions are stored, good and bad. Then we go through another layer that is the psychosomatic layer, in which also has this function of discerning what stays and what goes to either the emotional layer or to the mental body. The next one is the mental body, in which we store ideas and thoughts. And finally, we have the astral body, which is the closest one to the physical body. I'm only saying this because so if we know what we're dealing with, then we can work better in releasing any blockages that could be present in either of those layers. So it's also important to realize or to clarify that this mental layer is where the thought processes are happening, where the ideas are stored. But it is not that comes from the brain, because we always want to associate the brain with mind, the brain with consciousness, the brain with soul, and it really is not the case, because the brain is just a physical element. So when the brain dies, the physical body dies, the soul is still there, and all its layers, the mental layer, the emotional layer, are still there. Even though the brain dies with the body, you still have those, and that's how sometimes you can say that you have experienced things from previous lives, because your emotions and your ideas and your thoughts and everything that you have lived remains separate from the brain. It doesn't have anything to do with the brain. So we will talk about healing and restructuring the brain in another video, but today let's focus only in the layers of the soul. So understanding this structure of the soul, then we can work with it. We can start releasing elements from the electromagnetic field, and that way we open up that communication of energy. By releasing any blockages that are there, then we can communicate energy better, we can give energy, we can receive energy. So if you feel at some point that you're blocked, that you're trying to express something but people understand something else, then there could be some blockages in your electromagnetic field, so that your energy is not really going through. And also, if you work with energy, if you're healing with hands, if you're healing with some other way of giving energy, it could be astral healing, then you need to always heal the electromagnetic field, because it gets contaminated by external influences. It is what absorbs everything. As we walk by some place that is charged with negative energy, the electromagnetic field, when it's weak, it absorbs it. If it's strong, then it repels things. So we need to make sure that our electromagnetic field is always strong. And then same thing with all the layers of the soul. And that's why we want to restructure and we want to heal them. We want to let go of the elements that are causing any type of weakness or blockage in all those layers. When we work with the emotional layer, for example, we want to let go of all negative emotions, of course, because those can cause negative effects in our physical body and in our entire being. We know that if we bring back negative memories, that causes cellular changes that could negatively affect the body to the point of causing disease. Same thing with thoughts. Thoughts could also have that effect in the body. So we don't want to hold any of these elements in either the mental body or the emotional body. We need to release them. And once we do that, we can bring or let in elements of the new order, which are elements of a new kind that are already present in this plane that are part of the new structure of the soul. That means that the soul is looking to integrate these new elements into it to be more efficient, to be more effective in its communication of energy. So once we are able to release all those elements from the soul, then we can begin to really experience that communication of energy. It feels good. It feels better. You will definitely notice the change in your mind. It will feel like it's free, it's released from these elements. Emotionally, you will feel like there is room for new experiences now. You're not blocked to receiving or experiencing new things because there are no elements there that are preventing you from doing that. So there are several things that you will notice once you work with those. Well, we'll get to talk more about how to work with these elements individually. Also, remember that in the book of The Power of Elevation of Consciousness, I have explained very, very in detail each one of these layers of the soul, how the soul works, and how to heal each one of them with practical exercises that you could do at home in order to work on those yourself. Also, you have the online classes for the same effect with downloadable video and audio where you can follow those exercises and use them every time that you need, that you feel that it's time for a new reset of the soul or a new healing. You can go back to those videos whenever you want. Okay, very good. I thank you for being here and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next video. You can watch more videos like this at healersofthelight.com/videos. Thank you.